In today's digital age, information is always at our fingertips. On our phones, laptops, and TVs, it's all around us. Whether it's scrolling through Instagram, watching TikTok, binge watching Netflix, or going through YouTube's endless recommendations, we are constantly bombarded with an overwhelming flow of media. Some days I find myself trapped in letting the algorithm choose what I want to consume rather than actively making that decision myself. Lately, I've even noticed my focus slipping. I'll start reading something, but after a couple of pages, my mind starts to drift off. The deep reading that used to come naturally to me has become a struggle. And it's not just me. It turns out that even students at elite colleges aren't immune to this attention-draining effects. Many of us experience this familiar cycle. I'll click on a video because it seems intriguing at first, but after a while, mindlessly scrolling, it becomes vapid. The sheer volume of content often feels weightless, devoid of substance. It reminds me of T.S. Eliot's Burnt Norton, where he writes of a place of disaffection, filled with distraction from distraction by distraction, and fancies empty of meaning. His words resonate eerily today, capturing the superficial nature of our digital habits. We sit still, motionless, yet technology pulls us in every direction, fragmenting our focus and attention. It's a strange irony. We live in a time of unprecedented digital connection, yet we often feel mentally absent. But let's not get it twisted. Digital media isn't inherently bad. Online entertainment can provide that escape from reality. I'm not one who would say that's always a bad thing. But the problem arises when consumption becomes mindless, when it no longer serves a purpose, and we're left feeling drained and disconnected. But I think the increasingly addictive nature of digital media needs a massive amount of intentionality, self-awareness, and self-discipline if we consume it productively. The first step is realizing that most of the videos, posts, and stories we scroll through are just noise. The algorithm feeds us content endlessly. We respond on autopilot by clicking, swiping, and scrolling without thinking. We get caught up in the misconception that we need to stay constantly informed, whether it's breaking news, trending tweets, or viral moments, most of which don't seem to add anything. And the more we deplete our mental energy. The goal should be to make thoughtful choices about what and who we engage with. Media should serve our purposes, not the other way around. Prioritizing quality means focusing on value. What truly resonates with us on a deeper level? The content we consume should ignite something within us. Does this content spark joy and laughter? Does it inspire new ideas or encourage meaningful conversations? Content should entertain in a fulfilling way. Crafting intentionality in our media consumption is to know yourself. As Socrates famously said, an unexamined life is not worth living. Know your tendencies, your desires, and your goals, and simply putting media in its proper place. Understanding your digital identity is key. Cal Newport, in his book Deep Work, reminds us that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Our digital habits are building blocks for the person we want to be. The way we engage online shapes who we are and who we aspire to become. Before opening a browser or app, take a second and ask yourself, why am I going online? Reflect on the type of content you're consuming and consider its source. Who is writing this? One habit I like doing is checking my watch history regularly. This can be a little embarrassing at first, but for sure it's eye-opening. Take it one step further and share your watch history with a friend and ask them to share theirs. Exposing yourself can be quite entertaining too. Sometimes I find new niches I had no idea existed, and I also pick up on some new ideas. Another helpful tip I've heard online is to simplify your digital environment. Limit yourself to following just 10 people. It's hard, but it's helpful when you come back later on because you curate who and what you follow. And then you can ensure that your feeds are filled with content that imbues your true values and interests. Instead of allowing media platforms to curate feeds for you, personalize it yourself. I also like to set specific times or days for the content I consume. On weekdays, I like to watch or listen to news and educational content, stuff that helps me learn more about topics like history, psychology, and expand my general knowledge that will also help me in school. This doesn't mean that all screen time has to be productive. Fridays and Saturdays, on the other hand, are reserved usually for movie nights. Everyone needs downtime, and watching entertainment can be a great way to unwind. Watching a single episode of my favorite show can add that bit of comfort to my day. Really, it's the binge cycle that I want to avoid falling into. One well-known practice that emphasizes taking a day off is the Jewish tradition of Shabbat. Shabbat is a period dedicated to rest, reflection, and disconnecting from the busyness of daily life. It's observed from Friday evening to Saturday evening. It involves stepping away from work and electronic devices to focus on family, community, and prayer. It does take a lot of willpower to begin with, but I think this practice really encourages offline pursuits that enrich your soul, which fosters other activities like reading, painting, or learning a new hobby. Taking digital detoxes can also really help with resetting your mind and anchoring you to the present moment. The challenge lies in balance. It must be kept in harmony with leisure to avoid burnout and maintain a well-rounded, fulfilling life. A few years ago, I deleted Instagram and Snapchat. It was simple and easy, and I'm glad I did it early in my life. But I did keep YouTube, which I mainly watch long-form content, but I underestimated the pull of YouTube Shorts. Honestly, I didn't think it would be that hard to resist, but now that I open the YouTube app, it automatically opens to Shorts, which makes it really hard to avoid. Still, I refuse to delete YouTube because it genuinely provides me a lot of value. Since the internet is used for so many purposes every day, it's kind of impossible to abstain completely. That said, there are tools to help manage these distractions. App blockers can feel a bit extreme, but they are effective. For my YouTube dilemma, I've turned to Unhook, where I can hide my home feed, hide the video sidebar, hide shorts, hide comments, and it comes with a lot of useful features. For more sites, I recommend Stay Focused, which is another browser extension. You can select your active hours and days, also add custom blocked sites and allowed sites. You can add messages for when you're blocked, and if you're trying to turn it off, it will take several tries. Believe me, I've tried. And there's also a nuclear option. So once you switch it on, trust me, it works. On my phone, I set daily screen time limits and also turn off notifications. The constant beeping, dinging, and buzzing is so annoying because they're little tiny triggers. So just go into the app settings of your device, disable all non-essential notifications, and there you go. I also like to use Screen Zen for my phone. You can select the number of times you want to open the app before you get blocked, and also set time goals, and you can set schedules for the weekdays and the weekends.
Try out Screen Zen's Pause. It allows you to pause before you open a distracting app, so you can choose whether you actually want to open that app.
Also, waiting at least an hour before using your phone in the morning can help later on in the day. By being more intentional with your digital habits, you can consume more productively.